If you believe it, if you really believe that you could be something, if you have that little voice in your head saying, hey, you got talent, you could do this, then follow that voice.
And then you put a goal in your mind. How are you gonna feel, man, when you accomplish this goal coming from that shit?
The mindset of a winner, which is a winner does more than expected every single time, no matter how they feel, no matter the circumstances.
Get out of your own way, bro. You know it's you. You know you're the problem.
If you do not have clear goals for your life, you are condemned forever to work for those who do.
We have a finite amount of time on this earth, so are you gonna make it count or are you gonna waste it?
The minute that you trip and fall, when you hit that ground, that's who you are. And if you really want to know who you are, it's how you get back up. To me, that's what this is all about.
The truth is, whatever game you play in life, sometimes you're going to lose. A point, a match, a season, a job. It's a roller coaster with many ups and downs. And it's natural when you're down to doubt yourself and to feel sorry for yourself. You want to become a master at overcoming hard moments.
You're drowning. You're drowning in life. But you say, you know what, man? Dad, I'm gonna figure out how to fucking backstroke or something. I'm gonna figure out how to, and then through figuring out all these tools, your mind starts to, when you quit, your mind does this. There's no expansion when you quit. When you say, F you, this sucks, I'm drowning, I'm miserable, I'm suffering, I'm broken, but I'm not going anywhere.
You're him. Act like it. Stop waiting, start doing.
I have personally been exactly where you are. I'm not just guessing. I can tell you that you're the problem. And I can tell you that you're going to feel a whole lot better once you admit it. Because once you admit it, you are now in the driver's seat. If it's everyone else's fault that you're the way you are, you're stuck. Your hands are tied. You are confined to your reality. But once you accept the fact that it is you, then and only then can you solve it.
Motherfucker, every single person that you have ever looked up to has gone through many times where they felt like they were at the end. These are not times where champions decide to quit. We have to start looking at these times as the times that forge us.
The easiest way to lose in life is to avoid looking bad. So Sam Altman had this little blog post that he made about the power of being misunderstood, but he basically posited that you should trade being short-term low status for being long-term high status, which most people seem unwilling to do. And a common way that this ends up happening is by eventually being right about an important thing that most people don't agree on. But the key thing is that fundamentally you see something other people don't see, and they don't believe what you see, and so they bet against you. And all asymmetric returns in life come from betting against conventional wisdom. But conventional wisdom is usually right. And so you have to be willing to bet big. And the thing that's unproven is you. And so, of course, it makes sense for them to bet against you because conventionally they'll be right. But you're n equals 1, and you have a much longer history with you than they do. And so you actually have an asymmetric information advantage against everybody who bets against you, is that you know you more than they do. And so you know that if you say you're going all in, you're going all in. Because opportunity only looks like opportunity looking backwards.
The cultivation of energy, the skills that you are learning, these are very, very powerful things. But what makes the difference between somebody possessing this power and using it for the sake of humanity or somebody using it for the not betterment of humanity? It's the character. The power is the same. It's the character. It's the carrier of the power.
But everything is hard.
Yeah.
The both ways is hard, right? You say to be like me, maybe in your opinion, the opinion of the old people, even my friends say that I'm sick to live that life. For me, it's not a big deal. I do it in a comfortable way, in a happy way. Yeah. For me, it's not sacrifice. You say, yeah, sometimes you don't want to go to the gym. Of course, no. Sometimes I don't go to the, but I go because I have a compromise with myself. But I'm not go happy every day You think I'm wake up off the bed every day happy or with my wife or with my kids? Sometimes I'm not, but it's part of our time. We are both the same. We feel this every time. To mention again, the most important thing is to have a routine.
You will always have moments when you don't believe in yourself and when you're not too sure whether the fight is worth it anymore. And those are the hardest moments. That's when you can really prove to yourself that you can pick yourself up.
When losers go through hard, they think, poor me. When champions go through hard, they think, poor everyone else who's gonna try and catch me, because they're gonna have to go through this too, and they're not gonna make it. And so despite all the hard that you're going through, you just have to believe with all your heart that you're going to make it. Because the thing is, as long as you keep trying, you are making it. And one of the things that I've learned about success, to the degree that I can even say this, is that you become successful the moment you decide you are. Because there's always going to be another goalpost. And the thing is that your current self today is living a life that your past self once dreamed of. You've accomplished goals that you said would make you happy. You've accomplished things that you said would make you successful. And so success is very much in the eye of the beholder, including your own. And so that means that you can both be successful and be dissatisfied. They don't have to be mutually exclusive.
Sometimes in life, things get hard to the point where you just want to push and grind all day. But this is life. Things happen in life and you have to continue and grind.
As you progress along your journey, people will begin to form opinions about you, make assumptions of you, simply for progressing, for making sacrifices and commitments toward becoming a better version of yourself. It's unfortunate, but this is the reality. And if we become too attached to these opinions of others, it holds us, it ties us down to the life that we chose to part from, our past life, a life of bad habits and limitations, a life of normalcy. My friend, if you can let go of being understood, you'll be free.
Easy gives you comfort. Hard gives you everything else. Discomfort builds character. Resistance sharpens focus. Pain teaches truth. The people chasing easy never find peace. They coast, they stall, they fade. But you were built to carry the weight, to run towards the fire, to endure what others escape from. Hard isn't the enemy, it's the invitation. Answer it every single day.
You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Now think about that. If you want to attract what you want, you've got to see yourself already with it. You've got to understand that you've already got it. Use your imagination, see yourself already in possession of the good you desire. That will flip your mind onto a specific frequency, and you do think on frequencies. It's on that frequency that good you desire is going to start coming toward you, and you will start moving toward it. If you want to attract what you actually want, you've got to see yourself now already with it. And know it's only a period of time until you moving toward it and it moving toward you, and you become one with it.
Believe in yourself, take risks, take action. Walk like you own the world. Create like the world is your canvas. Build like the world is your foundation. Own your problems, own your solutions. Stop making excuses. Persist, 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 never quit.
I had to use all this negative that was making me weak and horrible as a person. I had to use this as the power that now fueled me. I had to flip it on its head and say, hold up. This might be exactly what I need. The darkness is exactly what I need. It's how you look at your situation.
There's something about you that people don't understand. A force within you that is far more than anything you've presented the world thus far. Our goal should be to become close to that, to embody it.
The thing is, when you look back on your life, you don't remember these days. You don't remember how cold it was. You don't remember the little bit of sleep you might have missed, or getting out of bed early. What you do remember is coming up second place, third place, not first place. Because success doesn't know these things about cold or early or tired. It just knows if you showed up or not. The difference between someone successful and someone that's not successful is not their ability. The differential is their desire.
Get up and get up now. This is where you win. This is the first battle of the day. This victory. So do not be weak. Do not lay down. Do not sleep in. Do not falter. I know you want to crawl back under those covers. And I'm telling you, no, do not. Those 5 minutes are not worth bowing down. Bowing down to weakness, bowing down to procrastination. Don't do it. Be strong, be powerful, get aggressive.
All stories are one of two types, warnings or examples. And you get to decide which one your story is going to be, a warning or an example. Because stories, and all of them have consequences. Because those stories are teaching us, if you live this way, you get these incredible rewards. If you live that way, you live in ultimate pain.
Your hardships, your challenges, your situation will either be the reason you don't make it, or it will be the story you tell when you do make it.
If you think the price of winning is too high, wait till you get the bill from regret.
Once you start questioning yourself, you already lost. Once you start questioning yourself, once you start going into a state of depression and you start being by yourself and you start thinking and wondering, once you start wondering, you already lost. Even if you don't believe. I gotta believe in me before anybody else believe in me.
When you're waking up every morning by yourself and you're fucking getting after it by yourself, and it's the hidden work. All those mornings that you don't want to fucking get up, and I look at it as like a rock, and you find this fucking rock, and that rock is you. And every day you fight not wanting to get up, and you do anyway. You chip another piece off that fucking rock, and every day you fucking eat the right foods, and every day you go to train, and you train harder and harder and harder and harder, and you get up earlier, and all these things you do to start forming yourself. You're chipping another fucking piece of that rock up. Before you know it, you have this beautiful fucking piece of artwork that you built.
Sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but actually, you've been planted.
You need to know your strategic goals, and you need to know why they are important, and then you need to get up, get out of your damn bed, and you need to go out there into the world and get after it.
We're all born with one, a gift. But it's on us to, when they say, oh, I got to find my calling. It's like, you already have something special. What you're afraid of doing is working hard at it. You're afraid. And once you step up and you stare at yourself in the mirror and know who the hell you are, and you fail, but you fail forward, and you learn, you put yourself in a better position to succeed. And then once you get one level, then you go to the next one. See, a lot of people, they stay at that one level because it's comfortable. But just like a video game, as the levels get higher, the difficulty increases as well. But you have a choice when you die in the game. Continue or game over. It actually gives you a choice. You actually have a choice in your life.
Pretend there's a documentary crew filming your success story and they're following you around right now. What would you do? What would you do if you knew that there was a crew following you around with cameras documenting your future incredible success and they want to catch you in the act of it all? You would do all the right things you would have to do. Think about that. Organize it.
It takes a demand upon yourself to be great, and the world needs your greatness. A warrior seeks to act rather than to talk. It's not through your conversation you become great. It's by the work you put in. It's the condensation that appears on your forehead. It's the sweat that comes from putting in hours upon hours of effort. You will not be great unless you're willing to lose your fear. One attribute that separates a great warrior from an average is their fearlessness.
Your goals and your tasks and your health and your discipline waver. Instead of letting all those things slide, instead rise up and aggressively move forward down the path toward victory.
What's the secret to happiness? I always say one word: progress. Progress equals happiness. If you've ever achieved a goal and then went, is this all there is? You know it's not getting it. Or even if you achieved a goal and you were thrilled, how long were you happy for? A year? 9 months? 6 months? 3 weeks? Because we're not made to just sit here and be satisfied. Everything in the universe grows or dies. Everything in the universe either contributes or is eliminated. So when you're making progress, you feel alive.
When you have a dream, the one thing you have to watch out for are those out there that will try to crush your dream. And you cannot allow that to happen. Have your dream, go after it with all you have, and be legendary in your own right.
If you are arguing against your own God-given potential, you are actively destroying your confidence, you're actively destroying possibility in your life. Instead, say this: I'm gonna get on the court and try until I make it. Because the pain of sitting in the stands and never getting down there is way greater than tripping on the court.
I live for today, and I don't care what happened yesterday. I live in the moment because that's the only thing we have in our lives, are moments in time. You need to experience a little rain sometimes so you can enjoy the sunshine again.
You need to make the promise. What's the promise, you ask? The promise is that you will live. You won't just exist, but you will truly live. You will begin to enjoy the moment you are in. Be present. Wherever you are, be present in this very moment. You cannot simply dream about a future without taking care of the responsibilities of now.
What is your final destination? Now, I think we're all created for purpose, and I think probably we have within us a sense of destiny. What we are to become is a result of what we do today. And so often I think we focus on the future and we miss the present. Take care of today. Here's what I know. You take care of today, put enough todays together, and you will discover your destiny.
Whether it's adversity, whether it's suffering, whether it's pain, if you choose to run towards it, who you become on the other side of it is a newer, higher, more transcendent version of you.
You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You're able to say to yourself, I've lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along. You must do the thing you cannot do. It is the thing that we cannot do. And because it is that, we must do that.
The work you do now is the planting of the seeds that will germinate, that will grow in the darkness when no one else is watching. When you're isolated and alone, those seeds are developing. Forget the fact that they are buried. They are only hidden to those on the outside.
You're going to have such a period in your life where it seems like it's not working. You're going to have doubts. You're going to have a lot of trials and tribulations and challenges. And everybody has what's called a turn back moment. You always have a moment in your life where the direction you're going, you will have to make a decision to keep going or you turn back. The sad thing is, the average person turns back. But think about this. If you're going somewhere and you turn back, you can never get there.
But the time is now, man. And what I mean by that is we can no longer put off what should be done today till tomorrow. We can't no longer put off what should have been done yesterday until tomorrow. The time is now. The time is now to go for it. The time is now to stop settling for less. The time is now to get the most out of your life. The time is now to start that dream. The time is now to start that idea. The time is now to set standards and stand by them. The time is now in your life.
Once fear is acted upon, the death of fear is certain. If you had 6 months to live, what would you do differently? Would you have the same job? Would you be worried about things that you're worried about right now? Would you have the same relationships? Would you have the same people in your life?
When no one sees those hours, those countless moments when you're grinding, when it's just you, but God and you. And you got to trust that God gave you the ability and the opportunity and the desire to be more so you can serve more. So you might as well keep watering that dream every day. And sometimes the water that you give your dream are the tears of frustration because you haven't had it yet. Stay that hungry, stay that mad, stay that frustrated, but put that fuel in the tank of purpose and drive yourself to the next level.
Because when you live an easy life, your life is really hard. When you do hard things, your life becomes easy. How much adversity can you handle and still keep making good decisions, still keep putting one foot in front of the other, still keep leading people that you're meant to lead? And if you can crank up that thermostat by intentionally doing hard things, running towards pain, doing that one more set, one more rep, one more step, one more sales call, one more knock on the door, one more thing, one more degree than everybody else. All it takes is that one extra degree consistently compounded over time. You become a savage of a human.
And never rely on tomorrow to bail you out, because it can't and it won't. That's why you need to make every day your masterpiece. That's why every moment matters. So today, you got it in your hand. Grab it. Do it right now. If you do it now, you're preparing for tomorrow. If you don't do it now, tomorrow, you're going to try to repair yesterday. And you just can't do that well. Every moment matters.
All that stuff you've ever imagined, it's just been God showing you a preview of a coming attraction He has for you. The problem with your imagination is you tell it to the wrong people.
The person you can control. People are not who you want them to be. Kill your idols. Sure, there are things we can learn from people, but people aren't going to be what you think they are, what they should be. People, even those people you have put up on a pedestal, are going to be faulted, weak, egomaniacal, condescending. They're going to be lazy, entitled, short-sighted. They will not be perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, it takes a lot of energy to reach your goal. It takes a lot of emotional, mental, and spiritual energy to reach your goal. And you can run faster with 100 who want to go than with one around your neck. Nourishing relationships are the relationships that inspire you. They motivate you. They bring the best out of you. Toxic relationships are relationships with people that always criticize you. All they can do is find fault. All they can do is just exploit your weaknesses. All they can do is remind you of the mistakes that you've made in the past.
You know what strength is? It's not being strong. It's not muscles. It's not making everything look perfect. It's going through your hardest times and still pushing through it. Strength sometimes crying through your day, but making it through your day. Strength sometimes barely making things work, but it ended up working. That's strength. Stop thinking because you're going through hard times that has to be a hard life. Don't let a hard moment, don't let a hard month, don't let a hard year turn into a hard life.
Human beings that get obsessed and immersed in any topic can become great at it, and so can you. So pick what you want and get laser focused. Begin to eliminate all the distractions. You are not hungry enough, you are not starving enough, and you are not focused enough. I say this to you as a friend. What are the things that are stealing your focus? Who are the people that are stealing your focus? And begin to eliminate these distractions. Get laser focused and obsessed on what you want. Be starving and hungry to get it. Be desperate to get it. The combination of desperation and hunger with laser focus over an extended period of time is the formula to be great at something.
Because you can't control other people. You can't make them what you want them to be. You can't make them who you want them to be. The only person you can control is you.
And then I would say you live for the day. Maybe a week's too much even, but for the day. It's like you get up in the morning, you think, I need to do everything I can to make this day as meaningful and rich as I possibly can. And hopefully I will have had a full day by this evening, and then I'll be able to sleep. And then I'll be able to get up in the morning and say, I'm going to try to make this day as useful and meaningful and engaging as it can be.
Because they've been saying, I can't, it's too hard, my life will never change, it's someone else's fault. Those thoughts have consequences in the body. So then if a person then becomes conscious of those unconscious thoughts, becomes aware of how they speak and how they act, and they notice how they're feeling, and they're no longer the program.
It's my mom's fault, my dad's fault, it's my husband's fault, my wife's fault, it's this, it's this, it's this, it's this. You're living your life like this. And as long as you live your life pointing the finger externally, you give that external force, whatever it is, the power to control the rest of your life.
Get laser focused, eliminate distractions, eliminate the things that steal your laser focused on it, your research on it, your obsession on it. Begin to do these things and you will begin to change your entire life.
So focus on making yourself who you want to be. Faster, stronger, smarter, more humble, less ego. Discipline your body. Free your mind. Get up early and go. Get after it, and you will become the person you want to be.
But daggone it, you've got to get hungry and you've got to get focused. And I know these sound like basic things, but go to any area of your life you want something right now. Pick the number one thing you want to change. Body, money, business, relationship, faith, I don't care what it is. Pick it right now. 1 to 10, how hungry are you?
Every time I've lost, people say you got to jump right back up. I disagree with that. After you lose, or when you get knocked down, stay down there for a minute. Understand why you lost. What were the reasons? Why are you down here? Why did you lose? So every time I lost, I stayed down for a second, minutes, hours, days. But when I stood up, I was different.
The proof is in the pudding. So if you want to do something, if you've thought about something you want to do, take it head on. Decide that you're going to start looking at it, start doing research on it, start tackling it, start becoming involved in whatever and wherever it might lead you to begin to explore the possibilities in that particular thing that you're seeking so that you can begin to learn all you can about it. Decide that you're going to face it, that whatever shortcomings you have, that you're going to strengthen yourself there. Whatever training that's required, that you're going to go get that training, that you're going to get started right now. Do what you can, where you are with what you have, and never be satisfied.
We allow it so much, we let people change how we feel about ourselves. You will always feel like you're less, seeing yourself through the eyes of someone who can care less about you. You'll always see yourself as less, trying to change for a person that will never change for you. And a lot of us, we live our life like that. Making somebody else happy but dying inside. Losing ourselves to please someone else. The first step to unhappiness is trying to please everyone else. What's the point of gaining the world's approval if that gain means you lose yourself?
I have a dream. I have a dream that is not rooted in imitating someone else. I have a dream that was given to me by God, and so do you. A dream can be so powerful that it can empower you to go forward, but it can empower and ignite a will inside of people to cause them to change. It can also cause people to follow you into battle, or follow you on the field, or follow you in the office. But there are things that come along with it. First of all, if you want to be a dreamer that can bring it to reality, because a dream without having an action plan to bring it into place is simply a nightmare.
Whatever you're going through right now, it's happening on purpose in order to forge you into the person that you were created to be, ultimately. But if you quit, you will never get to be the person that you were created to be.
You should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful. But you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. The clock is ticking.
So the winters are going to come. The winter of sickness, the winter of disappointment, the winter of devastation, social winters, economic winters, personal winters when your heart is smashed in 1,000 pieces and the nights are unusually long. It's simply called wintertime.
I want you to understand that and hear me. People need to understand this, like January 1st is coming. It's inevitable. I know that's a duh common sense thing. It's coming. It is coming. But who you are when you show up there, the person you are, the version of yourself when you show up there is optional. One or two things. Either you're going to be a person that you're proud of, or you're going to be a person that didn't keep the promises and commitments that they made to themselves.
What I try to do is just try to be still and understand that things come and go, emotions come and go. The important thing is to accept them all, to embrace them all, and then you can choose to do with them what you want versus being controlled by emotion, being consumed by a particular fear, and to the point where you're saying, okay, nah, it's not good to feel fear. I shouldn't be nervous in this situation right now. And it does nothing but grow versus stepping back and saying, yeah, I am nervous about the situation. Yeah, I am fearful about the situation, but what am I afraid of? And then you kind of unpack it. And then it gives you the ability to look at it for really what it is, which is nothing more than your imagination running its course.
But here's what we do know. It's possible for us to get through the winter. Here's what's exciting about the passing of time. It takes you through whatever you're experiencing at the moment. That's what time will do, take you through the winter. Now, how do you handle the winters? Make this little note. You can get better, and you can get stronger, and you can get wiser. There's no winter that you can't overcome. There's no winter that you can't figure out how to survive. There's no winter powerful enough that you cannot, with the ingenuity of being a human being, especially with the Herbalife opportunity, of figuring out a way to get through it. Hang on. Make this note. Winters don't last forever.
A dream that comes to reality, that's fulfilling, that's monumental. The first thing that you have to have is perseverance. If you want to be a dreamer that can bring something to pass, whether it be a business plan, whether it be becoming an excellent person in the office that sets the tone to be a difference maker, then you have to have perseverance. When things are going great, you are still up. When things are going bad, you are still up. You have to be able to carry the same enthusiasm throughout ups and downs because you are born with a dream that you must give birth to.
You gotta get to a point where you're sick and tired of meeting the same version of yourself that you complain about. You gotta get sick and tired of meeting the same version of yourself that's accepting less. You gotta get sick and tired of meeting the same version of yourself that's living a life that isn't meant for you to live. You have to really get fed up. At some point, some of us, we're gonna die never meeting the best version of ourselves.
It's up to you this year. It's up to you. The ball's in your fucking court. No more fucking around. You want your life to be better? I can't help you. Lee can't help you. Joe Rogan can't help you. Ari can't help you. God can't help you. Only you can help you. Grab your fucking balls, get a fucking notebook, and write down what the fuck you're gonna do this year. And this is it. You're not gonna have these problems. The drugs, the cigarettes, it all starts fucking today, all right? No more fucking excuses. This is the year of the fucking soldier. We're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
What the hell are we all waiting for to start attacking life? We're waiting for fucking stars to align? Back when I was growing up, the song came out. All I need is a miracle. Well, guess what? That miracle ain't coming. There is no perfect time to start. You gotta start now with changing your life. We're all being tested in life. And guess what? This is one test you can't cheat on. We all have our own test. Some of us are obese. Some of us are depressed. Some of us are insecure. The extra years that you're dealing with in life. And the only way to overcome it is for you and you alone to face it. You have to do your best work when you're least motivated. So those days you don't want to do it, guess what you gotta do? You gotta suck the fuck up and do it. Stay hard.
It's grind season, homie. It's not about today, it's about the future. You do the work now. Do the work now. It's time to stay focused, man.
No, don't be fooled by the outside. God is working behind the scenes. In that realm that you can't see, things have shifted. The moment you received what you believed for, things started lining up in your favor. Good breaks, the right people, healing, abundance started hitting your way.
We talk about how unfair it is. We talk about how fucking hard it is. We talk about how nobody gets it. And guess what? All those things are fucking true. It's not fucking fair. Most people don't get it. Most people have no idea how fucking hard it is for you. And guess what? They're never gonna. So why are you screaming about it? Take this opportunity to recognize that the chaos in your life is actually forging you and improving you because you're choosing to press on when everybody else is falling off.
The personality of a person, the ways of a person, the thoughts, the deeds, the actions, is all based around his heart. For what is a man? A man is his heart. A lying, cheating heart means a lying, cheating man. A loving, merciful heart means a loving, merciful man. A living heart means a living man. A dead heart means a dead man. Regardless to man's title, regardless to man's wealth, rank, or position, if the heart is not great, then he cannot be great. But if the heart is great, that man remains great under all circumstances, rich or poor, large or small. So it is the heart that makes one large or small.
Teaching people how to find that generous present moment and actually relax in the unknown and dissociate from their body, dissociate from their environment, and dissociate from time, the predictable future, and the familiar past, causes them, for some reason, to get a reboot. That to me, is taking all of your attention or disinvesting all of your attention out of this three-dimensional reality. And that's when the door to creation or a mystical moment really begins to happen for people.
It's easy to use your childhood as a crutch instead of seeing it as a chisel. There are a lot of divorces out there, so that means a lot of kids come from broken homes. I always hear people say, my family is so dysfunctional, using it as an excuse or something. But it's not really a valid excuse because everybody's family is dysfunctional in some way. There are so many crutches people want to use to justify themselves, but for me, you have to eliminate every single one of them. Get rid of them all. Then tell yourself it's up to you. What are you going to do now that you let go of all those crutches? Blaming others is an easy way out.
God will put dreams in your heart that you can't accomplish on your own. You may not have the experience, the funds, the connections, but God does. You're just one transfer away from seeing that dream come to pass.
I think a lot of us out here, we don't have control, we don't have the whistle. There's someone out there blowing that whistle and we hit the dirt. Some of us choose to stay down, but it's that motherfucker who constantly gets up as fast as they can. Those are the motherfuckers that make it in life. So it's our job to always be ready for the whistle.
Who is controlling your life? Who's making the choices in your life every single day? What's pulling the strings in your life? And before you say yourself, I really want you to think about that. Every day you wake up, did you make the choices that you know you needed to make to progress your life?
I need that. I need it badly. Of course it's gonna get hard. Of course there's all kind of stuff that can, with your focus. But you gotta stick that shit out, man. Ladies, fellas, come on. It's another level to this shit, man.
Why do you do this thing every single day, and what does it mean to you? I want you to ask yourself those two questions every single day. When you get tired, when you're not feeling it, when you don't value it, when you take it for granted, every single day, why do I do this, and what does it mean to you? Because if you say you do it for a certain reason, and it means something to you, every single day you'll come out, and you'll never cheat it, and you'll cherish every single aspect of it for the ability to become great.
The shortcut is a lie. The hack doesn't get you there. And if you want to take the easy road, it won't take you to where you want to be. Stronger, smarter, faster, healthier, better. To reach goals and overcome obstacles and be the best version of you possible will not happen by itself. It will not happen cutting corners, taking shortcuts, or looking for the easy way. There is no easy way. There is only hard work, late nights, early mornings, practice, rehearsal, repetition, study, sweat, blood, toil, frustration, and discipline.
It's one thing to be hungry, it's another thing when you're starving for greatness and starving for success. I know what it's like to operate every single day, regardless of the success that I've been a lucky son of a bitch to achieve. I operate every day as if I'm starving.
I can't get a break in life. I hate that damn mentality, but I can't get a break. You aren't given any breaks in life. You make them for yourself. We are all being tested in life. While my test is different than yours, you will be tested. And how you face that test and how you overcome that test determines the rest of your life. The one mentality that you must have in life is that regardless of what's in front of you, you still must grind. I'll never be in the Olympics, I'll never be a professional athlete, but still I grind. I fail at most things I do, but still I grind. I don't want to do half the things I do, but still I grind.
People, they'll put out goals, dreams, and aspirations and what they want to accomplish, but you very rarely hear people say what they're willing to sacrifice in order to make it happen. They'll tell you the goal, the dream, the aspiration. They'll tell you they want to be elite. They'll tell you they want to be great, but they're not going to say, I'm going to stop going out on Friday night. They're not going to say, I'm going to sacrifice and I'm going to stay late. They'll tell you the goals, the dreams, and the aspirations, but cats will very rarely touch on what they got to sacrifice in order to make it happen, because wherever there's sacrifice, it's interconnected to accountability.
And what I'm suggesting to you is pain can be transformed into power with the intention to transform pain into power. You see, what most people do is, this is why most good people lose. They stumble and they fall and they become heartbroken or disappointed by life's challenges that happens to every single one of us.
I am where I am currently because I didn't do X, Y, and Z, and guess what? That f***ing hurts a little bit. That bothers us a little bit. It's a hard truth to accept, but once you accept that truth, you are able to then move forward with the actions required to get you to where you want to go.
Your life is the exact reflection of the choices you have made. Love your life? Great, you've made awesome choices. Hate your life? I'm sorry, you've made bad choices. But the good news is, you're in control.
I'm talking to you guys right now who still have hope, who still have the fire, who still have the want and the will and the desire to fucking be more and become more and contribute more and win more, because you know your life will be better and everybody else's life around you will be better. I'm talking to you, motherfuckers. You can do this.
In other words, when the outcome changes and it's not what we want it to be and it doesn't turn out the way we want it to turn out, do we still value the thing that we once said we value? Is our character still intact? Right? Because we all know it. Character is not something we inherit. Character is something we got to wake up every single day. We got to fight and we got to build it. in the midst of opposition, in the midst of challenges, in the midst of uncertainty, we gotta wake up and we gotta build. I used to tell guys all the time, I don't care how tall your father is, you gotta do your own growing. In other words, every single day we gotta build our own character.
When they look in the mirror, they're just trying to see what's on the surface. But winning and losing wants to know what's inside of you. It wants to know what makes you tick. It wants to know what your desires are. It wants to know what your ego is. It wants to know what your limitations are. It wants to know what your mindset is. It wants to know everything about you, because winning does not lie. When you look in the mirror, you can lie and see what's on the surface. You cannot lie what's going on inside.
Discipline defeats the infinite excuses that say, not today, not now, I need a rest, I'll do it tomorrow. What's the hack? How do you become stronger, smarter, faster, healthier? How do you become better? How do you achieve true freedom? There is only one way. The way of discipline.
You either are or you fucking aren't. You either will or you fucking won't. You're either going to become or you're not going to become.
Each of us must turn inward and destroy in himself all that he thinks he ought to destroy in others. Each of us must turn inward and destroy in himself all that he thinks he ought to destroy in others.
See, we want to grow, but we want to stay liked by everybody. I was willing to be my own rescue at the risk of your approval. But most of us aren't like that. We want to be liked. Well, I woke up and I like myself today, so your like is extra. My job is to like me first.
When you're chasing a dream, when you're sacrificing, when you're going for things, and how do you get to a space and place? It says not failure, but low aim is sin, right? It's all right to fail and seek of those dreams, goals, and aspirations, but when you be careful that you're reaching for the stars, that everybody you love don't get burned up by the heat, that's a totally different animal, right? When you're reaching for it, how can we look at it, self-assess, and look at it in such a way to where, all right, I got my goals, my dreams, and my aspirations, but what is this going to affect?
When I wake up in the morning, I don't think, am I motivated to go do what I'm supposed to do? No, I don't think about it for 1 millisecond. When the alarm clock goes off, I have no thought about whether this is easy, whether this is hard, whether I want to do it, whether I don't want to do it. None of that matters. It's an emotionless, thoughtless discipline. When the alarm clock goes off, you get up, you get out of bed, and you go do what you're supposed to do. I don't care how it feels. I don't care if it's easy or hard. It doesn't even matter to me. It's just a reaction, it's a discipline, and it's life. And that's the way I choose to live my life.
You're going to go to a new level, and every time you get to a new level, you're going to face a new devil. But when they come at you, there is something different about you now. You see, all those stones that they threw at you when you were young and immature, when you were insecure and didn't know what you were about to become, those bricks that they've thrown, I need you to realize that was a foundation for you to build a platform for them to be able to see you at your next level of elevation, wherever it is that you're going. They couldn't have gotten you there any better, but by throwing those bricks at you, they gave you the material that was necessary to be more, so you can do more.
I know a lot of us, we stuck. We stuck in a season. We stuck in grief, we stuck in pain. We stuck in just average, we just stuck in the day-to-day. And there's some things that we need to move on to. Let me say this. It's hard to move on when you have programmed yourself to focus on what you don't have, y'all.
You need to continue to dream of your future. Praise God. Continue to dream of your future, but stay in the present and work on it. Some of y'all, your problem is you dream too much. You dreaming so much, you ain't doing no work. But God told me very closely, wake up in the morning and dream of the Nobel Prize, but get up and make the bed.
When you think about where you are, where you're going, and what it is you're trying to accomplish, there's only two ways you can be. You can be the person who learns a little bit, who does a little bit, and then who decides that this really isn't for them, and moves on to something else and repeats that cycle over and over and over again. Or you could be the person who's committed. You could be the person who says, this is going to fucking work no matter what happens.
You can't read somebody else's book about some theory on how to do shit. Some guy who sat up in a nice warm office and wrote some book with a nice cup of coffee in the fucking hand. No, I want to see that guy who immersed himself in fucking hell. And he thought about quitting and leaving and his wife and his kids. And why am I here? Is it worth it? All this crazy shit. And found out a way to get through it. We have pain, we have suffering, we react. And we react about, get the fuck out of here. It's those people who are able to control that feeling of flight and say, nah, motherfucker, there's a way through this. It's going to end. It's going to end, but we don't know that. We don't think that. At that time, it's going to last forever. So what keeps me going? I've quit several things. I know what's on the back end of fucking quitting. It's a lifetime of thinking about why the fuck did I do that? And I ain't fucking doing that no more.
Question yourself. Question yourself every day. Ask yourself, who am I? What have I learned? What have I created? What forward progress have I made? Who have I helped? What am I doing to improve myself today to get better, faster, stronger, healthier, smarter? Is this what I want to be? This? Is this all I've got? Is this everything I can give? Is this going to be my life? Do I accept that? And realize that all of us can do better. We can be better. And it starts when you begin to ask those questions. So ask the hard questions of yourself and find the path to progress and discipline and to freedom inside the answers.
When you were a child, you used to lay in bed and have a fear that there was something in the closet, that there was some monster under your bed, or perhaps the shadows that were coming outside of your window were actually coming to get you. These fears were unrealistic, but they were real in your mind because you were a child. But as you matured, you began to see and realize that it was just your imagination. And in your mind, the things that the worst situations, the worst scenarios were always going to come true. But if the mind is that powerful, you have to be able to turn and use it for your own good.
I think about controlling my own mind. Sure, we are physical beings, but we are our minds. What I do know is this: you
your mind, the thing that is listening and comprehending these words right now, that is you. And you can control it. You are the machine and you can control it. People ask me, how do I get tougher? Be tougher. How can I wake up early in the morning? Wake up early. How can I work out consistently every day? Work out consistently every day.
See, wherever we have stopped in our dream, we stopped at a place called willingness. Anybody that's fallen short of their goals, they ran into something that they were not willing to handle. Because in order to reach your dream, in order to make things happen, there must be a willingness to do what is required.
Life is not about what happens to you. It's about how you respond to what happens to you. When life hits you, blow after blow, blow after blow, when you leave here and it's like, man, this is the greatest time of my life, and then you go through a season of hurt, you go through a season of pain, how are you gonna respond? The people that I know that live a legendary life, create legendary things, and actually live in greatness, they already know how they're gonna respond whenever it shows up.
I think we live in a world where there's a lot of injustice, where we don't all start from the same place. I think what you should be focused on is what you can do for your life. Your circumstance is your circumstance. I've always believed that my disadvantages are my superpowers.
Begin to believe that somehow, some way, that the monster that is on the bed is bigger than the monster under the bed. You are becoming a beast, but it takes going through trials and tribulations. It takes going into battle and entering the arena of life and realizing that you are not a victim, you are a victor. But the only way you get a victory is to engage. Stop being afraid of what's in the closet or what might come out about your life or mistakes you've made that someone might expose about you. Embrace the fact that you are not perfect. You've made mistakes, but those mistakes have not become your character. Those mistakes have helped you fortify your character.
People have talent. People have a lot of talent. And this is going beyond your talent. So when there's no more talent, what happens to you? Most people quit. People only go to their talent level. And once your talent level is gone, it becomes a mental game. That the whole mental game sets in then. And most people can only perform to their talent. Why is this my big hurdle? It's because you're performing to your talent.
The journey to success, or in really any endeavor, can be a very painful journey. And you can feel very alone. And it's designed that way. I'm getting all this rejection and negative feedback from people. I've got haters. That's the road you're on. Those are the signs you're on the road less traveled. Those are the signs you're on the path that most people aren't going to be on. That you're going to a place most people aren't going to go in their lives. And so what comes with deciding to be great, deciding to do something awesome with your life, is all of those things.
What am I willing to do with my energy, my time, and my knowledge to produce the results? That's the bottom line. What are you willing to do? And what most people don't realize is they don't give up on their goals because it becomes insurmountable or it's impossible. Is that they just looked at what they wanted and they just decided within themselves, consciously or unconsciously, I'm not willing to produce this result. It's the bottom line. Because the only thing that counts in life are results, not reasons of why you didn't do it, but results. That's the only thing that counts.
You have control over your mind. You just have to assert it. You have to decide that you are going to be in control, that you are going to do what you want to do. Weakness doesn't get a vote. Laziness doesn't get a vote. Sadness doesn't get a vote. Frustration doesn't get a vote. Negativity doesn't get a vote. Your temper doesn't get a vote. So next time you are feeling weak or lazy or soft or emotional, tell those feelings they don't get a vote.
You are becoming more than you ever imagined. You're a better person than people understood you to be because of what you've been through. But what you've been through allows you to be an expert to a whole lot of other people. You can now speak to people in confidence and tell them that just as you made it through, so can they. Because you have learned and matured that the imagination begins with an image. And if you can make an image of yourself, if you can believe about yourself that there's something great in you, then you can become that. It starts with an image. Look in the mirror and confidently say to yourself, I am more than I ever thought. I am stronger than they know. I am more powerful than I ever believed. I am capable of doing things that no one has seen me do before. I am much more than anyone has ever spoken over my life, including myself, and I'm about to dream even bigger. Morning comes and morning goes. Morning is today. Morning is the thing that happened yesterday. When we have to get up and make a decision, I am either going to accept what's in this morning, in this day, in this very second that I was blessed enough to have, or I can be mourning the things that happened yesterday. But there is no way that I can focus on what's ahead of me if I keep looking behind me. I will not throw away my future wondering what could have been. I will not sit here and waste away this play, this moment, this second, this job, this relationship, this moment to be everything I could. We do not have an unlimited amount of time on earth. It is so precious that it cannot be purchased. Not one man, not woman at the end of our lives can sit there and say, give me one more moment, give me another hour, give me another second, please. When it is our time, it is our time. But when it's our time, it must be our time. What I mean by that is in this very second, you've got to decide that I'm going to live out my prime.
There's not one person that you look up to, not one, that gets up every day and says, this is fucking amazing. I can't wait to do this. No matter what they tell you on social media, they still have bad days. They still have days where they want to do something else. The difference is they don't because they're committed. When you think about where you are, where you're going, and what it is you're trying to accomplish, there's only two ways you can be. You can be the person who learns a little bit, who does a little bit, and then who decides that this really isn't for them, and moves on to something else and repeats that cycle over and over and over again. Or you can be the person who's committed. You can be the person who says, this is going to fucking work no matter what happens. No matter what, I'm fucking doing this. Those are the people that are gonna win.
There's actually two human beings in the bathroom every morning. There's you, and there's a human being in the mirror. And that human being is trying, and they've been there a long time, and they've been waiting for you to wake up and to see them. They're tired of your constant negativity. They're tired of you beating them down. They need you to be more encouraging. They need you to be more celebratory. They need your support. And when you finally wake up and create a moment with yourself every single morning where you look yourself in the eye and you see yourself and you forgive yourself and you honor yourself and you say, I believe, it is this remarkably deep and spiritual feeling of connection that you've been longing for a very long time.
As we get hurt,
And either we don't want to deal with it because it's too painful, or we don't know how, which I think is often the case. And that hurt, we don't like feeling hurt, but without knowing it, hurt turns into anger.
See, that's what it takes. If we take the easy route, if I just go ahead and I do the duties, I just wake up, I go to the job, I just go through practice. He said run 2 laps, I'll run 2 laps. But if you want to be great, you got to run more than 2. You got to be able to run 4. You got to be able to run 5. And when you get to the end of you, right when you want to quit, is when you got to find that extra gear. You got to flip the switch. You got to believe that this is not the moment for me to give up. This is the moment for me to discover what level up is about in me.
Where is the opening for you? There's room for you out here. Out here in the arena called life, there's room for you to come out and live your dream. Don't allow but to keep you in the corner. Keep you up in the bleachers, looking at life, being a spectator, not being a participant, making a difference in life. I believe that all of us came here with something. All of us showed up to give something, and that nobody is going to give that service that you have to give.
You have had many ups and downs in your life, and you will have more. This is life, and this is what it does. Life brings you to your knees. It brings you lower than you think you can go. But if you stand back up and move forward, if you go just a little farther, you will always find love.
Confidence comes from this, because the disease of lack of confidence is you're obsessed with everybody else thinks about you. What are they going to think? What are they going to think? What are they going to think? That's the symptom. The disease is you're worried about your reputation with everybody else because you don't have a good one with you. If your reputation with self is exemplary, you're not concerned about your reputation with others. So self-confidence comes from one simple thing. It comes from keeping the promises you make to yourself. That's it. If you begin to consistently keep the promises you make to you,
I don't care if someone didn't believe in you. I don't care if someone said you couldn't make it. Use that as fuel. Gas up. Get ready, because life comes, and when it comes at you, it must also face and prepare you. You've been battling all your life, and people wanting you to be small. You're not meant to be small. You're supposed to be big. But being big doesn't mean you have to be the fastest, the strongest, the tallest. Doesn't mean you have to be the youngest. I'm going to fight for my dreams. I'm going to fight for my goals. I'm going to fight so that everyone knows I didn't waste my time. I said good morning, and I said goodbye to those who thought I should be in mourning. If you've ever gotten around a group of people and felt like they were more successful, they've already won. They're doing more, they look great, the family looks so unstructured. I don't know if I fit in here. You are wrong. If you're on the same field as them, you belong. Doesn't matter if who knows what territories they've been given. Success, it doesn't matter if they inherited it, if they were given deals. Your hard work can overcome any obstacle. But you gotta see it in yourself first. You gotta see it that even if they get a head start, they needed it.
How you do anything is how you do everything. This ain't saying, oh man, I gotta do this the way I do that. That's little boy talk. We talking mentality, we talking spirit, we talking disposition. We talking about how we show up and how we work for what we say we want without letting situations, circumstances, and people dictate what we bring into an environment every single day. I'm gonna say it again, not letting situations, circumstances, and people dictate what we bring into an environment every single day.
Dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. Hard work works.
Perhaps you gotta realize that you're the underdog and everything is stacked against you. But if that's you, you better come out swinging. This is your time to win.
You should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You know, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no. Wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it.
What if is the worst question you can ever ask yourself? I failed. It's a million times better than what if. Because that motherfucker got up and did something, showed up. 10 times more than the man that says, what if? What if, man? What if is an ongoing debate inside yourself that you can never come to conclusion on? I got up and failed, at least I know. Otherwise, what if? Every minute of every day for your existence, battling inside your head, trying to turn off the voices, but you can't. The window of opportunity is closed. Something you can do, but sit back and wonder, what if? No, don't like that, man. I'd much rather take the gamble and lose.
When the alarm clock goes off, I have no thought about whether this is easy, whether this is hard, whether I want to do it, whether I don't want to do it. None of that matters. It's an emotionless, thoughtless discipline. When the alarm clock goes off, you get up, you get out of bed, and you go do what you're supposed to do. I don't care how it feels. I don't care if it's easy or hard. It doesn't even matter to me. It's just a reaction, it's a discipline, and it's life.
It's like, is there something wrong with being competitive? There's nothing wrong with it. There's something wrong with cheating. There's something wrong with being a tyrant. All of those things are bad. But you don't want people to win? What's the difference between trying to win and striving? You want to eradicate striving?
The world breaks everyone. The very good, the very gentle, the very brave. And those it doesn't break, it kills. There's no shame in being a broken man. I should know. You just pick up the pieces and start rebuilding.
And I learned something this year, something that we've been lied about for so long. There's this lie that says that we have time. Because time is something that we've always had, that we don't realize how valuable time is. A lot of you know this, but I need you to understand this. You don't have time. You don't have next year. You don't have next month. You don't have tomorrow. All you have is right now. And just to be real with you, you have to understand this, that forever comes with an expiration date. At some point, forever is gonna come to an end.
Just like all of us, we all had our tests to really show how strong we really are. Tests that we don't even know, maybe losing our parents at a young age, or maybe losing somebody that affected our family, or did something, or somebody was a racist, whatever it may have been. So it may have affected us. It may have been for, a matter of years, and that's what it's really come to, overcoming the adversity in life. It's what happens when you deal with that adversity. What are you gonna do? You gonna lay down for it, or you gonna keep fighting it? And And that's what life's about, fighting adversity and overcoming adversity and seeing what kind of person. Are you going to be bitter and mean because life wasn't kind to you? Or you figured it wasn't kind to you? Or you going to say, f*** that and live life to its fullest means and be happy?
You gotta go through some hell. But when you come out on that other end, don't celebrate long. Because there's another storm coming. And when that storm comes, though, you'll be ready. Because everything you've been through was training. And when you've been trained, you will lean on your training, you'll lean on your experience, you'll lean on your instinct. And that gut feeling inside of you right now that is stirred up, that's the voice. That's the voice of experience.
Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future.
Everyone tells you what to do and what's good for you. They don't want you to find your own answers. They want you to believe theirs. I want you to stop gathering information from outside yourself and start gathering it from the inside. People are afraid of what's inside. And that's the only place they're ever gonna find what they need.
There is one instinct you need to be wary of, one that you must fight. This one is a liar. This one is a saboteur, a backbiter. And like the devil himself, he's a shapeshifter. This is the instinct that says, you've had enough. You've given it your best shot. You can stand down. You can back off. You can take a knee. You can rest now. Do not listen. Because that instinct is a liar and wants to bring you down. You see, this instinct is a defense mechanism for your ego. It gives you an out, a place to run to, a place of sympathy and amnesty where all can be forgiven. Failures gather together in comfort and drown their sorrows in lies and deception. They tell each other, and they tell you, you did the best you could. And the deck was stacked against you, and it's not your fault.
I hate Plan B. Every thought that you put into Plan B, you're taking away now that thought and that energy from Plan A. I've never ever had a Plan B. I made a full commitment that I'm gonna go and be a bodybuilding champion. I made a full commitment that I'm gonna be in America. I made a full commitment that I'm gonna get in the show business and I'm going to be a leading man no matter what it takes. I will do the work. I will do the work over and over and over until I get it.
They print money, they don't print time. They don't print opportunities. You can lose money and get it back. You can't get time back. You can't get experiences back. Worship getting your time back with your family. Average people focus on money. The great focus on time, because I can't get my time back.
You've got to develop a sense of urgency. Aurelia said, stop living your life like you have 1,000 years to live. In life, you're either here today and you're gone today. If there's something that you want to do and you can't do it all at one time, do just a little bit of it. I like what Robert Schuller says. He said, by the yard it's hard, but inch by inch, anything is a cinch.
One of the most important lessons in life that you should know is to remember to have an attitude of gratitude, of humility. Understand where the gift comes from. It's not mine, it's been given to me. Use what I have, use what you have to help others. You know, on your last day, you can't take it with you. But you can leave it here. You'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse.
You don't have to work hard, you don't have to eat right, you don't have to sleep right, you don't have to do more than what's required of you, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do.
You don't have to win. You don't have to be a success in life. So the greatest things in life take sacrifice and discipline. That's why so few people achieve great things, because they don't want to sacrifice, they don't want to discipline.
What have you done to help yourself? Most of them say, I've been working hard. I'm all about being your own hero, but I'm not about kissing your ass. In life, a lot of us believe that we're working much harder than we actually are. We think if we got up early for 4 days, we've earned something. You gotta drop your entitled mindset. It's dead weight. We believe we work harder than we actually have. Trust me, most of us haven't. The one thing in life you gotta realize is this: learn to help yourself. Don't count on other people to help you. Stay hard.
Force yourself to do it. Say you're the general. The brain is the general, the troops are the body. The troops don't want to listen, but you go, F you listen. And you get up and you do it. Just do it. Make yourself do it. And if you do that, if you write down and do that, you can change who the F you are.
And so they tell you, it's okay to stop. It's okay to settle. It's okay to give up. And that is the instinct you need to fight, to push back, to smash into the ground. Do not take the easy way out. Do not give up based on instinct. If you are forced to stand down, to retreat so you can rebuild and reattack, so be it. But make that decision based on logic. Replace it with the instinct that says, get up, go, fight on.
Identity is the governor on every single area of your life. It literally sets the temperature for all of the conditions of your life. Because we know what we are, but not what we may be. And the who you may be is going to be dictated by your ability to alter your identity. Because you are going to always be consistent with what you believe you're worth and what you believe you deserve.
We're going through whatever as if it lasts forever. And I want to say this, yes, moments happen, seasons happen, but how we respond to those things determines how long those things last in our life. And so I want to just tell you this and remind you of this, right? The sun will shine, okay? And the storms will come. I want you to understand that the sun will shine and the storms will come.
Everything a man does for himself, guess what? He takes with him. But everything he does for others, he leaves behind. So when you begin to say, what is it that I want to leave? What contribution that I want to begin to make? What difference do I want to make in life? What is it that I want to do with the rest of the life that I have left? What chances I need to take? What risks do I need to begin to embrace? You can either live your dreams or live your fears.
What are you willing to sacrifice in order to move forward? You have to give up something that you love, and you may have to give up the thing you love the best. That's the fundamental sacrificial motif.
We all fall down in life, guys. The question is, who gets back up?
For every adversity that life gives you, it also gives you a seed of equal opportunity. But we have to nurture that seed.
I'm talking about the commitment that says, I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left. Because I think we all know in this room, character is not something that we inherit. Character is something we gotta wake up every single day, we gotta fight and we gotta build it. In the midst of opposition, adversity, and challenges, I don't care how tall your daddy was, you gotta do your own growing. In the midst of challenges, opposition, and pain,
develop a health plan. See, you can't feel well and do well if you don't have good health. You can't perform if you don't have your health. Your health is valuable. Develop a health plan. A plan that you will follow, because this is the only vehicle that you have to carry you through this experience called life. And you want to take good care of it because you love you enough. You care enough about you. And that's not easy. It is not easy having a health plan and sticking to it. But you're worth it doing it again and again and again.
If for 10 years, if you didn't avoid doing what you knew you needed to do, what would you be like?
There is a difference between passion and obsession. When you're passionate, everybody cheers you on. They're stoked for you. Oh, you found your passion? Awesome. Follow your passion. Live with passion. When you're obsessed, they're like, why are you gonna be so crazy? Why do you always gotta get things so perfect? Why do you spend so much time here? When you're obsessed, people think you're nuts. If no one thinks you're crazy, you're not yet operating to the outer limits of your potential.
Practice and practice and practice. Practice makes what? Practice makes improvement. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. You'll never hit a state of perfection. You're always bigger than what you do. And so all you're looking for are new breakthroughs through practice and practice and practice. You'll get better and better and better.
Like waking up and being in the spirit of gratitude, right? And just being grateful before we even start our day. Just waking up with it on our mind. Man, I'm grateful that I get the opportunity to do this week, right? It's almost that pressing, that perspective of, I don't have to do it, I get to do it. Right? And so my challenge for us all is, as we start our days, as we do our work, as we carry on with our lives, let's do the press of gratitude more. The press of being thankful more, right? Like when we start something, even if it's opposition present, challenges present, uncertainty present, man, let's tap into that spirit of gratitude. Let's tap into that spirit of thankfulness.
Because you're not everything you could be, and you know it. What would happen if you just stopped wasting the opportunities that are in front of you?
If you let people's perception of you dictate your behavior, you will never grow as a person. But if you leave yourself open to experience, despite what others think, then you will learn and grow.
So, whatever it is you're trying to be, whatever it is you're trying to do, work on becoming the type of person that would actually have that. Stop and ask yourself, what do these people do? What are their habits? What are the skills that they have? What are their routines they follow? And start to become that now. And then the rest of life will start to materialize around you.
It's going to feel a little bit unfamiliar, uncomfortable. And if you can relax into that, instead of going back to the past, continuously invest in your future, sooner or later, it'll begin to become easier and easier and easier. And all of a sudden, when you least expect it, something amazing is going to happen in your life. And when that event begins to occur, you're going to pay attention to what you did inside of you now to produce the effect outside of you. And that's called human empowerment. And there isn't a person in the world that's excluded from this equation.
Visualization is one of the challenges. And part of that is not just visualizing success or living in the reality of achieving what you're setting out to achieve, but also visualizing how you're going to navigate all the obstacles that are going to get thrown in your path.
No matter how much emotion and feeling you may have or how much hurt you may have, life has to go on.
Because the people who go all in, the motherfuckers who burn the ships and leave themselves no other option but success, those people are dedicating all their skills, all their resources, all their energy into producing a specific outcome. And if you're competing against someone who's going all in with every resource they have, and you're only going half in because you're half in and you're half fucking out, guess what? You're gonna lose. So you guys out there with your plan B mentality, you need to take that crumple it up and set it on fucking fire, because all it's gonna get you is more of what you already have.
When the situation or the moment does not go our way, because we all know what to do when it goes right. But when God says no, who will you be? But most importantly, who's watching you and who can be blessed by the opposition, the adversity, and the challenge that you're facing?
No matter what's going on in your life, it's not permanent. Everything is going to change. So there's two things you can do with change. You can react to it or you can participate in it. It's gonna change anyway. So if you keep waiting around, you're gonna have to react to the change. And now you behind. But if you participate in the change, if you know the job you have is not gonna last forever. Where you go to work at every day, that's gonna change. So what you gotta start doing is you gotta start anticipating that it's going to change and just start living your life with the preparation for change.
At the beginning of the year, a lot of you had goals, ambition, a lot of drive, a lot of motivation. Well, it's Easter. It's the middle of April. To make sure I don't get too far with my goals, my dreams. A lot of you aren't proud of who you are. You don't like the person you created. Do what I did. Start from scratch. Create somebody that you're proud of. Stay hard.
You can learn all the techniques in the world. If you don't believe in yourself, it won't happen for you. I learned all of it. Focus on the seller. You've got to focus on you. And as you convince you, as you sell yourself, every day, you will begin to see a difference in the things that you're doing. Selling yourself on your ability to perform a job, to achieve a certain objective. Telling yourself every day, here I go again. And I got what it takes. This is my day, and nothing out here is going to stop me.
His why was greater than defeat. His why was greater than his trial and his tribulation. And I'm telling you, if you don't know what your why is and your why isn't strong, you're gonna get knocked out every single day.
And say, in spite of this, I'm in control here.
Motivation has nothing to do with it. See, most people are waiting for motivation when motivation is just a spark to get things moving, but it's your commitment that gets you to the gym every single time. You don't go because you're motivated. You see, you don't do the things you know you need to do to reach your goals because you're motivated to do those things. You do it because you've got the mindset of a machine. You just say, every Tuesday, Thursday, this is what I do. Every Tuesday, Thursday, this is what I do. Every Tuesday, Thursday, this is what I do. You just can do it because that's what you set out to do.
Success and failure are not giant events. They don't just show up. You don't just suddenly become successful or suddenly have this cataclysmic event that makes you fail. It may look that way, but failure comes from all the little things. It's failure to make the call. It's failure to check the books. It's failure to say, I'm sorry. It's failure to push yourself to do things physically that you don't want to do. And all those little failures day after day come together until one day some cataclysmic event happens and you blame that. That event happened because you missed all the little stuff.
I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to let this destroy me. I'm coming back. And I'll be stronger and better because of it. You have got to make a declaration that this is what you stand for. You're standing up for your dreams. You're standing up for peace of mind. You're standing up for health. You want it, and you're going to go all out to have it. It's not going to be easy. When you want to change, it's not easy. If it were in fact easy, everybody would do it. But if you're serious, you'll go all out.
And I want you to be aware of this. Like, most human beings, we don't really understand the value of time because we've always had time. We say we value time, but do we really value time? Like, some of us, we're holding grudges with people that we love. If you really value time, you will let go of that grudge. We don't think that at some point, this is gonna end. At some point, your parents might not be here. So the more you future think and think that this is gonna come to an end, at some point, we think that we have forever. And I want to tell you, forever comes with an expiration date.
Make today count. Every day. Go forward. Get aggressive and attack, whether it's on the battlefield or on the beat, or in the factory, or on the farm, or on the construction site, or on the website, in the garage, or in the firehouse. Don't hesitate. Step forward and get after it.
It's gonna be hard, either way, okay? Being broke is hard as fuck. Being successful is hard as fuck. All you get to do is choose which hard you're gonna be, and you don't get to opt out of it being hard. That's the thing when people fuck up. They think they can opt out of life being hard. No, life is going to be hard. But you get to choose the result that it's going to produce because of it.
It is not the darkest moment that's the problem. You the problem. And your perspective is the problem. You thought you was just gonna have a dream and a goal, and you was just gonna wake up and just walk into the sunset. You have a dream, and then life punks you. You gonna lose friends. Do you really want this? Do you really want this? And so I'm telling y'all, you have come too far to quit now. You have invested too much to quit now. You have lost too much to quit now. Get a reward for your pain.
This is the only life that I have. And I'm going to take the leap of faith. I'm going to jump in it. I know the universe will never give me anything I don't have the capacity to handle.
Not what might be, not what could be, not what should be, what is, okay? And we have to make decisions based upon what is, not
what we wish it was.
The dream is the finished product. The nightmare is the setbacks, the adversity. The nightmare is the dream stealer. The dream that God placed in some of your hearts is that He would use you, that you would do something that would be significant. Now all you're experiencing is the nightmare and darkness, and it feels like that God has forgotten all about you.
And my advice to you would be to stop identifying with the group and start identifying with can work. Because at the end of the day, guys, 1 + 1 is always going to equal 2.
When you find yourself flailing in an ocean of why is this happening to me? When it feels like your guardian angel put in his 2-week notice 2 months ago and just decided not to tell you. When it feels like God is a babysitter that's always on the phone. When you get punched in the esophagus by a fistful of light, remember that you will survive. Remember, things could be worse. Remember, we are never, ever given anything that we can't handle. The human heart beats approximately 4,000 times per hour. And each pulse, each throb, each palpitation is a trophy engraved with the words, you are still alive. Anything worth doing is worth failing over. Sometimes you just have to endure the nightmare. But if you want to give yourself to something worth failing over.
So cast out the lies, burn them down. And listen to the truth.
The truth is this: if you're willing to pay the price, and you're willing to do the work, and you're willing to take the time, and you're willing to consistently get up when you are knocked down over and over and over again, which is going to happen to you if you're pursuing anything outside of the norm, you can make it here.
We all face situations that look like they'll never change. And it's easy to get discouraged and accept that it's never going to work out. Mountains represent obstacles, things that look permanent, like it's immovable. Depression can be a mountain, feels like you'll always struggle with it. A mountain can be people at work that are not for you. They have more seniority. What can you do about it? Or how about a mountain of debt, lack, can't get ahead? It's been in your family for years, but this is a new day. That mountain is about to be turned to a molehill.
If you don't have a purpose that's greater than yourself, you will never feel fulfilled. You can never be happy, and you can never feel quote unquote alive. All right, it's a very empty existence to live exclusively for yourself.
You will need that rest. Chances are you will realize that the desire to rest was just weakness. It was just the desire to take the path of least resistance, the downhill path, the easy path. And by simply going through the motions, you overcame that path. And you stayed on the righteous path, the disciplined path. You stayed on the war path.
If you choose, you can also find every excuse as to why you won't make it. You can find every reason, if you look for it, as to why you won't make it. Society's counting on it. Society is counting on you giving up. Because if you give up, then you could become dependent on the government system to provide for your whole life.
During that time, on your way, the pathway to your dream, don't let anybody else's opinion become your reality.
Are you going to face this issue with courage and with resolution? I say lead. Lead. Step up to the challenge. Be the one that other people look to. Absorb that impact. Absorb that negativity. Draw fire. I say, draw fire. Bring that pain to me.
You can do this. Look, I don't care who tells you that you can't do it, you're not going to be able to do it, you can't win, the game's rigged against you, you're just a regular human, success is for other people, one that has what it is that you're looking for out of life. Listen to those people.
I want to declare today that your dream is greater than your nightmare. I want to declare today that your dream and your destiny is going to outlast the devil's nightmare in your life. He that endures to the end shall be saved. And weeping may endure for the night, but joy is coming in the morning.